back to 1776 or bust. So today we're actually going to be revisiting the PX4 Storm Compact Carry. Now this gun, I love it. It's a fantastic gun. Didn't shoot it too well, but I'll leave that up to the gun gods to tell me why that happened. Probably mostly because of me, although I'd like to say it had something to do with me just not being gun ready at that particular moment in time. But the last video I made, I talked about wanting to replace the trigger bar and also the hammer spring. So what I found was that with the Compact Carry, it's not a full Langdon tactical version. Obviously, the MP3 coating is not on there, and the trigger bar is not the optimal trigger bar, nor is the hammer spring in here. So I wanted to upgrade that to see if it made a significant difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this gun apart. I'm going to do some initial testing on the trigger pulls, and then what I'll do is I'll take the gun apart. I won't obviously show you on camera, and then we'll take a look at the hammer springs and we'll take a look at the trigger bars to see if there's a real significant difference before I install them, and then we'll take a look to see how it improved, if it improved at all, after the installation. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back. All right, so we're going to take an initial trigger pull on this guy. We're going to do the double action first, and I'll kind of give you the readings to show you exactly what's going on with this gun. So my first double action pull is 6 pounds, 12.6 ounces. I don't know if you can see that, but that was the first double action. I only do these twice a piece. Second one is 7 pounds, 11.9 ounces. So again, that's a little high, but the average is about 7 pounds, 4.2 ounces. Again, I think it's a little bit high, so let's do it one more time just to make sure. 6 pounds, 3.1 ounces for a total of 6 pounds, 14.5 ounces. So I think that's a fair number. I always said it was either 7 or slightly below 7, but it's a very good trigger pull nonetheless on the double action. The single actions, 3 pounds, 14.1 ounces. And the second pull, 3 pounds, 8 ounces, which is going to come to a grand total of 3 pounds, 11 ounces total for these trigger pull on a standard compact carry. So we're going to pull this thing apart. We're going to look at the springs, and then we're going to look at the trigger bar and see if there's a significant difference. So again, stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're back to the table, and right in front of you, as you can see, you have the two different trigger bars. The one on the left here is going to be the Langdon Tactical Trigger Bar. This is the one that came with the PX4 Compact Carry, and the same things with the springs. This is the new spring from Langdon, and this is the old spring. So just to kind of get a good glimpse at both of these trigger bars, it doesn't seem like there's a significant difference between the two. And it's kind of interesting. This one is the one from the factory. You can see that some of this has already gotten a high polish from use, which is kind of interesting. That's just from about, 200 plus rounds, maybe around there. And then this one here is the fresh one from Langdon Tactical. It looks like the finish is a little bit better on this one. This one is the MP3 coating. This one does not have it as far as I know. The size difference in between the two is sort of negligible. I don't really see a massive difference between these two in regards to size or shape. That really gives you an idea that maybe there's not a huge significant difference. I mean, some people have reached out to me and just said that there is. So I'm going to be excited to put this in and see if there really is a significant take-up or reduction in take-up on the double action and single action. But if I was going to say if there's a big difference, this one just feels a little bit heavier versus the one from the factory. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, I can't really tell what the difference is. I mean, the angle of everything looks the same. The pieces and the parts all feel the same. Just that the Langdon Tactical feels a little bit more robust in regards to the thickness of it versus the one from the factory. So we'll take a look at that and we'll see, in a minute here. This again is going to be the factory spring. This is the hammer spring that came with it. And this is the new Langdon Tactical spring. And you can definitely feel that this one's a little bit lighter, a little bit more bendy versus the one that came from the factory. So I'm going to put these in, and then we're going to look at the trigger pulls and see if there's anything different in regards to, the reset or anything like that. So again, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're back. I did the installation. It took maybe, 10 minutes to do it. The hardest part is just trying to get the trigger control group back in and then dropping that, the trigger bar underneath the hammer to get that to work. But once you get it, it's super easy to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the trigger. Let's see what the pulls look like right now. And then I'm going to give you my general impression of what I'm seeing. And it might actually surprise you. So let's look at the double action. My first pull is 6 pounds, 10.8 ounces. Second pull is 6 pounds, 9.1 ounces. And we'll do a third one. 7 pounds, 9.8, which is a little bit heavier than I would think. My average on this one was 6 pounds, 15.2 ounces. So, I mean, is it a significant improvement? Not really, not on that double action. So let's take a look at the single action. Let's see if it does anything on the single action. 3 pounds, 8.2 ounces. So that's pretty good. 3 pounds, 3.8 ounces. 3 pounds, 4.6 ounces. So the total I got for that is 3 pounds, 5.5 ounces. So an improvement on the single action. And, you know, that's, I guess, where it's going to really count the most. In regards to the general take-up of the trigger, I'll be honest with you guys, it doesn't feel much better. It doesn't feel any smoother. The take-up, I think, was already very good on the gun, but it doesn't really feel like there's been a significant change at all on this trigger pull. The single action and the reset... The reset is very short, but it was short to begin with. It feels like there's a little bit less travel on the reset, and then once you pull the trigger again. I noticed that when I initially took this gun out, I felt that a little bit on the reset and the single action, where there was just slight more movement than I'm feeling right now on this gun. But it's very short. I mean, it's a very short trigger, no real movement, and then it breaks. So overall, do I think it made a huge improvement on this gun already? I don't. I'll be honest with you, I do not. Do I think it's worth buying the $60, or I think this one was $70, a $70 trigger bar, and then like whatever it was for the spring, I think it was like $8 or $12, something like that. Do I think it's worth it for a compact carry right from Beretta? To be honest with you, I don't. I don't really think it is. And that's not a knock against the Langdon tactical stuff, because I have one in my 92X compact, and it changed the dynamics of the way that gun shot, the way the gun felt. The trigger pull is magic on that gun. But I'm curious only because when I take a long, hard look at this trigger bar that I got with the gun, and I'll put that up to the camera, I'm going to tell you guys, man, this trigger bar doesn't seem any different at all than the LTT trigger bar. Now, I've tried to research it. I've tried to see if there's any difference between this and the one that comes with the compact carry. I have not been able to confirm that. It seems more and more like this isn't the Langdon Tactical, according to what I've read, but I'm hard-pressed to believe that it is. I mean, it's the same exact color, has the same exact texturing. You know, the feel of it might be just me, because I said that the LTT trigger bar felt a little thicker, but looking them over again, I didn't really see a significant difference between the two. So in my opinion, do I think the LTT trigger bar makes a huge difference? I do not. I think it makes a little bit of difference on that reset and then the single action pull, which is now a little bit crisper and a little bit lighter. But I think overall, you'll see a little bit of an improvement on that double action and a little bit of improvement on the single action. Again, you're going to have to decide if it's worth $60 or $70 to you, and then go from there. So that's what I found. Leave those comments down below. Hopefully you got something from the video, and I hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe, and as always, freedom is never free.